What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after 4 friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Monday, the 23rd of September, 2024. I am Alana Bose reporting for News Source. Here's the latest this evening. Police investigators believe they have finally been able to close the case on the 2012 murder of 25-year-old Levoy Talgett, almost 12 years after his disappearance. In court today, 46-year-old Ryvan Francis was charged and remanded to jail for the murder of Talgett. He was not required to enter a plea to the indictable murder charge. The court was told that Levoy Talgett was murdered between the 23rd and 27th of December 2012 along the Soesdijk-Linden Highway. The man's body has never been recovered. The accused was arrested last week, more than a year after a wanted bulletin was issued for his arrest in connection with the murder case. He had been previously questioned about the murder after some of the belongings of the dead man was found in his possession. However, just over 2 years ago, the police received additional information further linking Francis to the murder of Talgett and issued the wanted bulletin for his arrest. Back in 2013, during the early stages of the investigations into Talgett's disappearance, the accused had admitted to selling a phone that belonged to Talgett and hiding the dead man's car, but he maintained at the time that he had nothing to do with the young man's disappearance. The car was found stashed in a trail along the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. Over the years, the family of Talgett repeatedly called for the accused to be rearrested and face additional questioning since they were convinced that he had something to do with the young man's disappearance. Levoy Talgett was 25 years old at the time of his disappearance. He was last seen driving his Toyota Ram motorcar. The vehicle was found abandoned days after the man's disappearance. Police investigators believe he was murdered and buried somewhere along the Linden-Soesdijk Highway. More news coming up in a moment.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. It can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Your own home is so much more than just 4 walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Are you ready to elevate your career with a world-class education from the comfort of your home? The University of Excellence Management and Business, UEMB, Guyana's premier accredited and recognized tertiary institution, invites you to join one or more of our comprehensive 145-degree programs. Registration is now open for our next intake on September 9 and every 2 months thereafter. Enroll now and secure a 50% scholarship. Choose from an ABA, BBA, MBA, MPM, EMBA, EMPM, and LLM degrees, available in 14 specializations. Whether you hold an undergraduate degree, a diploma, or relevant professional qualifications, apply. We are an accredited degree-granting tertiary institution in Guyana. Our programs are also equivalent to a USA Regional Accredited Degree. Submit your completed application application form, proof of entrance qualification, and any form of ID. For more details, visit our administrative office in the Critchlow Labour College, Front Building, Wolford Avenue, or call 225-1395, 225-1397-9, 618-3434, and 681-3434. Progressing to a degree is as easy as ABC with UEMB. Deal with the best and forget the rest.
I can't wait until tomorrow.
Yes.
Start packing this, yeah?
I ain't start packing yet. Usually I pack a couple hours before and I go. Drive. I got my phone, I got my keys, my charger, my
Procrastinating planning for the future? Well, that's never a good idea. Let Demerara Mutual and Demerara Fire and General help you get started with planning for your future today. I'm with Dem.
Hi, I'm Marlene Street Forrest, Managing Director of the Jamaica Stock Exchange. Join us at the second Regional Investment and Capital Markets Conference to be held in Guyana on October 8 to 9, 2024 at the Pegasus Suites and Corporate Center. Under the theme Financing for Success, where passion, prosperity, and people align, we will explore the latest trends and opportunities in wealth creation and economic development. This two-day event promises to be engaging, enlightening, and game-changing. To register to attend, visit www.jamstockex.com or call 876-967-3271. Come and make the right connections.
Welcome back. President Irfan Ali will be addressing the United Nations General Assembly, UNGA, on Wednesday during a visit to New York. While at the United Nations, the president is also expected to participate in bilateral meetings with other heads of state, including with the president of Paraguay and the president of Ecuador. A statement from the president's office also revealed that he is also scheduled to attend a meeting with U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. President Ali will also meet with the UN Secretary General and other top UN officials during the visit. This afternoon, the president delivered remarks at the UN's Summit of the Future, where he spoke about the importance of food security.
Our global food security continues to deteriorate, and the projections are alarming. It is estimated that $90 billion in annual global financing will be needed between now and 2030 to provide a basic social safety net. If we are not able to meet the basic need of feeding our people, the entire Agenda 2030 is in peril. It is our collective responsibility to provide the $300 to $500 billion needed to transform our global food system. Technology transfer, insurance for farmers, access to finance, and fair trade rules are all part of the solution.
The president will also attend the high-level event on the Global Coalition to Address Synthetic Drug Threats, which is being hosted by U.S. President Joe Biden. President Ali is also expected to attend several other meetings before leaving New York on Thursday for the United Kingdom. In the UK, he will meet with British Foreign Secretary David Lammy and receive an award as a Caribbean global leader. Accountant General Jennifer Chapman has flagged weaknesses within the public accounting system, but has indicated that the Ministry of Finance is working to ensure corrective measures are adopted. Speaking during the handing over ceremony of the 2023 Auditor General's report, Ms. Chapman said it is pivotal that every cent of public funds is accounted for.
This occasion today ensures that we continue to strengthen accountability across the public government agencies. His report, the Auditor General's report, highlights to us our weaknesses within the accounting system. However, the Those weaknesses we use to ensure that we improve accountability and transparency across government. Public funds being spent, one of the pivotal characteristics of spending public funds is accountability and transparency.
She said that the Finance Ministry has lots of work to get done in order to correct the system. Meanwhile, Chairman of the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee, Opposition Member of Parliament Jermaine Figuera, today called for the swift release of the report for members of the public to scrutinize government spending for the year.
Equally, I believe this presentation of the audit, the General's report, being presented to the Speaker, I believe the time has come for it to be made public after it has been presented to the Speaker of the House, rather than it being laid, then made public. I think that's something we need to consider, because all this work the Audit Office has been doing in satisfying such a requirement should not handicap the public from being fully made aware of this report only when it is laid in the National Assembly.
Speaker of the National Assembly, Manzoor Nadir, also stressed the importance of accounting for public funds and said while the Parliamentary Public Accounts Committee faces the issue of infrequent meetings, there are a number of contributing factors.
This is not something of this 12th Parliament alone. Yours truly have been around for a very long time. And so it is a function of many things. It's a function of how the instructions flow from the Accountant General to her accounting officers based on the Treasury memorandum or memoranda issued by the Ministry of Finance, based on the rules and regulations of procurement and expenditure, and a number of other factors. If all of those go very smoothly, then the prosecution of the Auditor General's report will take less time.
Auditor General Dhirat Sharma in his remarks also noted challenges in the accounting system, but said his office continues to work to produce its reports on time.
The presentation of this report marks the 13th consecutive occasion that the Audit Office has been submitting its report by the statutory deadline of 30th of September following the close of the fiscal year. Mr. Speaker, the Audit Office once again achieved a statutory deadline of issuing this report, in fact, before the 30th of September, following the close of the fiscal year. Mr. Speaker, it should be noted that this is the fourth time that we are issuing a report before the 30th of September.
The Guyana Elections Commission GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31st, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Types of transactions. Anyone eligible for registration is required to visit the registration office responsible for his or her area of residence to apply for registration. Persons who are already registered could apply for a name change if they have changed their names since they were last registered. Apply for corrections if there is incorrect information on their national ID cards. Persons who are desirous of conducting any of the above transactions must provide the relevant supporting documents. Persons who are already registered could request that their photographs be retaken if the quality of the photographs on their ID cards is unacceptable. Collect their new ID cards if they have not done so as yet. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, please contact GCOM on the following hotline numbers: 225-027729, 226-6557, 223-9650, or visit the GCOM website at www.gcom.org.gy.
Your own home is so much more than just four walls, floors, and ceilings. It's a lifetime of great memories and stories. Come talk to us and start your journey home today.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Monster, bust the flavors. We're full of flavors. Bust the flavors, that me crave for. We're full of flavors. Tell your neighbors about the bust the flavors. Grab a bust the flavors. Yeah, thirst buster, grab a buster. Bust the flavor, taste the savor. Buster, bust the flavors. Buster, bust the flavors.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look, you know the one, or one touch, even one word. I can start with one step, or one promise, one thrill, one first time, one deep breath, one leap of faith, one day to remember, or one night to forget. One moment, so many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life, just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
On the local political scene now, leader of the opposition People's National Congress Reform, Aubrey Norton, has indicated that the PNCR-led A Partnership for National Unity APNU prefers to head to the polls next year as a united front and wants to do so with its longtime coalition partner, the Alliance for Change, AFC. The Alliance for Change has not renewed its accord with the APNU and has long said that a new accord would have to be struck if it is to go back into an alliance with the APNU. At a press conference on Friday, Mr. Norton said the APNU and AFC are better together.
We have had and continue to have a relationship with the AFC. We believe we are better together and we opt for coalition. But we know we can mobilize and organize and beat the PPP. But we prefer to have coalition politics to widen the involvement and ensure a wider participation of the people. In fact, we are looking to add in other groups to the coalition so that we can be a wider coalition base as such.
The APNU and the AFC currently have a working relationship in Parliament, but the parties have been holding separate meetings and engagements with the public. The AFC, which is led by attorney-at-law Nigel Hughes, said it is not ruling out a possibility of a coalition with the APNU next year. As it relates to the question of a presidential candidate, Mr. Hughes told a radio program recently that it will be up to his party to decide if it wants him as presidential candidate. The PNC Reform has already stated that its leader or someone of his choosing would have to be the presidential candidate for the elections. Now to the Alliance for Change. With national elections slated to take place next year, the Alliance for Change political party has expressed concern over what it considers to be the lack of effort by the Elections Commission to fix weaknesses in the electoral system. The party said it has received complaints from persons around the country about the lack of verification of the addresses of registered persons. The AFC has written to the Elections Commission seeking a meeting to address its concerns, but that meeting is still to take place, party officials have said. At the party's press conference on Friday, Opposition Member of Parliament Beverly Alert said the AFC has also been raising concern about the current size of the voters list.
Present list of electors is close to the full population of Guyana, and outside of having the census that was due over a year ago, we have to use the figures of the last census. So how can that list really be an accurate list of eligible electors? Clearly, GCOM is failing in its duty to prepare for credible elections. Elections must not only be free and fair, but it must also be credible. There is also the matter of citizens of Commonwealth nations who may be considered domiciled in Guyana. With the influx of foreign workers in the oil sector, should they be eligible for inclusion on the OLE? At present, the laws provide for that. But should they really be electing the government of Guyana? This matter is engaging the attention of the Alliance for Change, and we will be speaking more on this at another time.
The Alliance for Change has said that it is currently not satisfied with preparations for the next elections, adding that it believes there are too many weaknesses in the system, and GCOM has not made public any recommendations on how those issues can be addressed. On the police blotter, police investigations are ongoing into a double murder incident which took place on Saturday morning at Lenora. One suspect has been arrested and another suspect remains on the run. The two dead persons were identified as 30-year-old Mohammed Nazir and 25-year-old Arvinda Rupram, both men from the Stewartville community. Rupram received several stab wounds on his body and Nazir received one stab wound to his upper abdomen. The two were stabbed during a roadside brawl with two other men in the wee hours of Saturday morning outside a nightclub at Lenora. The police said an argument led to the deadly fight. The arrested suspect has been identified as 28-year-old security guard Alex Amsterdam, while the suspect who remains on the run is known only as Terry. The suspect, who is in custody, was found with a stab wound to his chest and he remains hospitalized. Investigators said they found the suspected murder weapon at the scene.
GCOM is currently conducting a national registration exercise. Who can register? Anyone who will be 14 years or older by December 31, 2024 and is a Guyanese citizen by birth, descent, naturalization, or is a citizen from a Commonwealth country living in Guyana for 1 year or more. Where to apply for registration? You are required to visit the registration office that is responsible for the registration of persons in your area of residence to apply for registration. Office hours, Monday to Thursday, 8 to 12 hours, 13 hours to 16 hours 30, and Friday from 8 to 12 hours and 13 to 15 hours 30. The offices will be closed on weekends and holidays. This registration exercise will end on November 29, 2024. For further information, contact the GCOM on 225-0277-9 or visit the website www.gcom.org.gy.
What was supposed to be a night of celebration turned into disaster after four friends who were all drunk left the bar in the city without a designated driver. Designate a driver. Don't drink and drive.
It all starts with one. Maybe it's one look. You know the one. Or one touch. Even one word. It can start with one step. Or one promise. One thrill. One first time. One deep breath. One leap of faith. One day to remember. Or one night to forget. One moment. So many stories that make up one crazy, average, everyday, fabulous life. We get one life. Just one. Make your move. It all starts with one.
Guyana's economy is rapidly transforming, and we're all part of it. Guyoil is at the forefront of this development by providing reliable and efficient energy and supporting community development from the very core. 100% of Guyoil's profit goes back to building schools, roads, and other important infrastructure that connects our cities and towns, providing fuel to domestic, marine, industrial, and aerial transportation. Guyoil has now repositioned itself as a market leader in the petroleum industry, building a better future for all of us.
across the region tonight. In Ecuador, the government has announced the suspension of electricity service for 9 hours daily in 12 of the nation's 24 provinces. Additionally, the government has placed 19 areas on red alert due to a drought that has reduced the water levels of hydroelectric plants. Ecuador is gripped by the worst drought in the country in 61 years and an energy crisis made worse by what the government says is lack of maintenance of existing dams and contracts to ensure new energy generation. The Ecuadorian authorities said the extra suspension of electricity was based on protecting water resources. In Jamaica, 2 men are dead after gunmen posing as police officers entered a premises and opened fire in Freehill, St. Mary early on Sunday morning. The deceased have been identified as 26-year-old Barrington Clark and 48-year-old firefighter Gary Samuels, both of the same address. Reports indicate that around 1:30 a.m., Clark and his common-law spouse were at home when they heard gunshots coming from downstairs in their 2-story house. The Jamaica Observer reported that shortly after, individuals knocked on their door, identified themselves as police officers, and instructed them to open the door. The men allegedly forced the door open, asked for someone named TK, and upon receiving no response, opened fire, hitting Clark. Clark's partner was instructed to run, and the men then fled in a waiting motor vehicle, according to the police. Jamaica continues to see a high murder rate. Finally, tonight, international news. The U.S. is planning to ban certain hardware and software made in China and Russia from cars, trucks, and buses in the U.S. due to security risks. Officials said they were worried that the technology in question, used for autonomous driving and to connect cars to other networks, could allow enemies to remotely manipulate cars on American roads. There is currently minimal use of Chinese or Russia-made software in American cars, but Commerce Secretary Gina Raimondo said the plans were targeted, proactive steps to protect the U.S. Chinese officials said the U.S. was broadening the concept of national security to unfairly target Chinese firms. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for tonight. I'm Alana Bose, encouraging you to have a good night.